Hello, Jeff and Jay here with Jay's Big Adventure, and what we are going to do today is work on improving the light output of our 2005 BMW 330i. This particular car is a ZHP or performance package car, but pretty much any BMW from the early 2000s suffer from this malady. What happens over time is that the reflector bowls on the low beams burn off the chrome, and it significantly reduces the light output. So what we're going to do is take this light assembly out and pull the lights apart and see whether we can fix that. We're going to start by removing these bolts here, this one, there's one right down here. Not quite sure if you can see that one, but there was one right down beside the light, and there's one in the back down in there. We're going to take those bolts out and remove the entire headlight assembly. This trim piece along the bottom is going to be removed as well, but those are just some clips that we will pull with a screwdriver. I'll show you how that works when we're at that point. I've got my 8mm socket on that bottom bolt just so you can see where that is in relation to the light. It is right in the corner here. And we're just going to loosen that bolt, and in case it would fall off, Jay is ready with my magnetic retriever tool. And that bolt did indeed fall off, so Jay was very useful with his magnetic retrieval tool. Thanks, Jay. The next bolt is in the back, which is right here, and that's not nearly as hard to get to. Next, we are going to remove this trim piece along the bottom of the headlights. The older cars don't have this, but just put a screwdriver right in here, and it just pops right out. And now the whole assembly is loose. With the headlight assembly loose, we're just going to remove all the wires. And then we're going to take this inside and work on it in there. So we've got our light inside on a clear lit workbench. We're going to start by removing, this is the bottom trim piece. And to do that, there's a little tab right here. Push that down. That loosens this up. And then there's one here, and it will slide right out. Next is the top seal. I flipped the light back over so it's in the proper orientation. The next one is this piece here. And there are these little clips down in here. We're just going to pull those out. And they pull out just like that. Next step is going to be to remove the side marker light. We're going to take this screw out, and there's a washer on top of it, and then the light just comes apart, just like that. To separate the clear shield from the assembly housing, we're just going to pry these up and pull that cover away from the main body. Do the same thing on the back side. And it's loose. Next comes this plastic shroud, and we start with this clip in here, and there's one up here. You've got these two done. There's one up here and one back in here. Remove the HID bulb by turning the housing and lifting it out. I've already removed the bulb from the case, but it just slides in and turns to lock as well. Next, we remove these 3 T20 Torx bits. Since I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get these bolts out of here without them falling down in, I've loosened it all the way up. Then I'm using my magnetic puller, and they pull right out. The last step is to remove this T10 Torx bit right there. We can now clearly see the burn in the reflector, which is causing the problem. You can see here, this is the cutoff for the high beam, and on the back side is this motor that moves in and out. When you do that, that's what raises that cutoff for that when you turn the high beams on. What I'm going to do is remove these 2 screws, take this shutter off so I can get in here. We're going to spray paint right in there. The next step is to use Krylon chrome paint. We're just going to spray right in here to cover that brown up, and that should give us a new reflector surface. Not sure how long this is going to last, but it is way cheaper than $350 for a new light assembly. Hold still, Jay. So we were not happy with the way the paint turned out at all. It ended up being aluminum, not chrome. So Jay, in his brilliance, came up with a new idea, which is tin foil. So what we did was we cut out a piece of tin foil, made a couple of small slits, and then tucked it up into the back side of the reflector with a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Not quite sure how this is going to work, but it will be very interesting to see. Next step, put all the pieces back together and wait for it to get dark. Editor's note, always remember to use all the pieces when you put the light back together. Time for the light to come out once again. Another great way to improve the light output is to replace the high beams and take out the 55-watt halogen bulbs and put in these LED bulbs. This particular brand is called Night Eye. It's an H7 replacement. Has a little fan in here and a little box to supply the proper voltage, and also trick the BMW system into thinking that it is a factory bulb. If you don't, it will turn on the headlight bulb on your dash. So to remove the bulb, I'm just going to pull this connector out, and there's the back of the bulb, and remove these 2 little wire clips that hold the bulb in place. The wire clip is removed. The bulb just pulls right out. When we go to replace it, we have to make sure that this tab fits down right here. So we'll do that with the new bulb as well. The most difficult step of this process is the wire clip that's in here has to go around this base. So once you get the bulb installed, you have to pry those around the outside and connect them to the clips, which are here up on the top. What I've done is I removed the ballast from the top, and now we have access into the bulb space as well, and hopefully that will make it easier. Okay, I now have the 2 clips installed, and the one on the right was a bugger. I ended up using some needle nose pliers in through the side to get that one on there, but it is now in there and safe. So now hook all the wires back up, and that side is ready to go. I now have the wiring connected, and I just used a piece of double-sided sticky tape in the back side of that ballast to stick it to the bottom of the container, just so that it doesn't bounce around in there. So even though it is not dark, you can definitely see a difference between the left beam, which I have replaced, and the right beam, which is yet to be done. And then when you do the high beams, it's with the new LEDs, it's a completely different story. Significantly more light Well, the high beam is a little better. The passing beam with the new LED is just fabulous. Can't wait to drive it at night.